Welcome to Dark Docent. My name is Jake. Join me as I guide my friend James down the paranormal rabbit hole, attempting to prove the authenticity of a new case each week. Today's case, the Hoia Baciu Forest. How you doing today, James?
You know, I'm not too bad. I'm a little sleepy, but all things considered, pretty good. How are you?
I'm not bad. I've been really busy. I've been researching Alamode because I've got a lot of big cases for you coming up. And today's case, I have been particularly excited for.
I've never been to Alamode.
I hear it's nice and hectic, but I've been particularly excited about the case that I'm bringing you today.
Particularly excited.
Yes.
What makes this one so special?
Because I know it's something you're going to hate. And with the new year, James, that I've had so far,
Yeah.
I'm expecting to be absolutely berated. But there's also lots of parts about this case that might make you shut your yap.
Maybe. As we've established, I'm not afraid of you anymore. I will give you a low score. I don't care anymore.
All right. Well, we'll see what today brings. And for those listening, you can follow along on our Instagram and Facebook and TikTok where I post the case photos every Friday. I have a story for you. We are in Romania, 1897. A little girl that we know as Sasha is playing around her local town of Cluj. As she's enjoying the day in Romania, looking around at the fields, seeing people tending to their many farms and animals, she decides to be a little more adventurous. For there is a forest just outside the town that's always seemed extremely interesting to her. And partly because her parents told her never to go in there. But today, she felt a little more mischievous, a little more brave, and she decided to go into the woods. Now, these woods aren't regular woods. The trees twist and turn in strange shapes. And there's an odd clearing in the center where nothing grows. And when Sasha entered the woods, that was the last time anyone had ever seen her. For 5 years. 5 years later, Sasha returned from the woods in the exact same clothes that she left in, remembering nothing of what she was doing or where she'd been. And this isn't the first time that something like this has happened. 200 years prior, in the 1790s, a farmer and over 200 of his sheep went grazing through the forest to the clearing that was in the center of the woods. And all of them disappeared as well, never to be seen again. This forest has many names. It's been called the Bermuda Triangle of Romania, Dracula's Forest, but most famously, it is known as the most haunted forest in the world. James, have you heard of the Hoia Baciu Forest?
I've heard of Dracula. I've not heard of the Hoia Baciu Forest. Did I say that right?
You did, Hoia Baciu.
Hoia Baciu.
Well, Hoia Baciu is an extremely interesting place. According to stories, people do go missing there. And it is very spooky looking, and I have pictures for you to show you.
Already.
Already, brother.
Well, while you're pulling those up, something I do know about spooky forests,
Yes,
people go missing in them.
they do. But this forest actually isn't that big.
I don't think Romania is that big, although I could be wrong. Let me look at a map. Oh, you know what? It's decent size. I take that back. A little smaller than Poland, I suppose.
Yeah, the Hoia Baciu Forest, compared to other forests in the world, between 600 and 700 acres, which is big, but not as big as other massive woods in the world.
It's not the Canadian wilderness.
Not the Canadian wilderness. Here is a picture of the Hoia Baciu Forest.
Those look like sickles. Those trees, they're shaped like sickles.
Yes.
Trying to escape communism, perhaps.
And that's the whole point of the Hoia Baciu Forest. It's got these very strange trees. Another thing it's known for is a perfect circle that is in the very middle of the forest that has nothing that grows in it. And I got a picture of that for you as well.
That's actually wild. Those trees, they're all like from the base, they've grown up like a foot, and then they full on like all the same direction are curving away and then around like a half circle and then growing straight up.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's very weird.
Here's the clearing in the Hoia Baciu Forest.
I think it's like an advanced crop circle.
Kind of, like an advanced crop circle where nothing grows.
There's just a big circular clearing in the middle of a forest.
Now, James.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those photos are lies. Neither of those photos are the Hoia Baciu Forest.
The amount of deception that I feel.
The first forest I showed you, those are the Crooked Woods in Poland. When you look up the Hoia Baciu Forest, that's the first picture that will come up. That is not the Hoia Baciu Forest. That clearing I showed you, I don't know where that is. That's not the clearing in the Hoia Baciu Forest.
Well, those trees definitely didn't look like the same trees from the Crooked Forest.
They weren't, but if you look up Hoia Baciu,
yeah,
I've literally seen people on thumbnails post those two pictures side by side, and neither of them are Hoia Baciu.
That's incredible.
Also, the story of the girl that disappeared in 1897,
yeah,
I made up the date and the name. Because people tell you that in the early 20th century, a girl went missing, but sometimes it's the late 19th century. They never give you a name. They tell you that she reappeared, didn't age, and had the same clothes. Why is there no stories about this? Why is it just a legend? Her name should be out there. There's stranger stories or strange stories of that type that did happen with actual names at least. Whether they're fake or not, up for people to decide. Also, the story about the sheep, that's the first legend you hear about Hoia Baciu. The thing is, I made up that date as well. No one knows when that happened. Some say 1600s, some say 1800s. No one gives you a date. All they say is a few hundred years before the girl went missing.
You know, that shit like this is why I don't take notes.
I'm sorry. I had to get that off our chest first.
Is this even about Romania?
This is about Romania.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I wanted to bring this up first. Because the Hoia Baciu Forest is extremely interesting when you actually get into it.
I'd say it sounds like it, but I have no idea.
I'll show you in a moment. But the thing is a lot of people show the wrong image and the wrong stories and spread things that aren't true or made up about it. So I'm going to try and focus on the things that we actually have that are somewhat tangible or related to true stories that I could find. Which, honestly, is kind of like what we do here. Sorry to those who like stories. Here are images of the real Hoia Baciu Forest.
You know, can I be honest?
Yeah.
Trees, they're not as cool, but they're definitely creepier.
Yeah.
They aren't growing like sickles, but they are growing like you'd imagine a cartoon after someone, you know, destroys their hand and their fingers are all zigzaggy different directions. That's kind of what the trees are like.
I have another picture to show you what some of the weirder trees look like in the forest as well.
Let's see. Feast your eyes.
Feast your eyes.
I mean, they're quite curvy, but I wouldn't say they're ridiculously abnormal.
Well,
I'd say trees like that, they're not evergreens. They're whatever, deciduous. I don't know, but they're the type of tree that kind of grows wonky-ish.
Well, there is actually some cool stuff about these trees. One thing they have found about these trees is several tree trunks will grow from the same root, kind of similar to like a fungus
Or an aspen.
or an aspen. These trees are strange for that, all growing on the same root.
Yeah.
It's not seen anywhere else, really. These were a lot more unique. That's a big thing. Also, people say that the trees grow almost as if they're reaching towards you. And some people have claimed that they've seen the trees move when there's been no wind in the forest. Almost like the woods are alive. Now, we've cleared the bullshit on the trees. It's time to clear the bullshit on the clearing.
There's no clearing?
There is a clearing.
Okay.
And nothing grows in it. Here's the clearing.
Yeah, that looks like a clearing.
So it is
Nowhere near as big as the first one you showed me.
No, it's pretty big, but it's not huge.
Yeah. God, these tiny European forests, you forget how small trees can be. growing up in the West Coast rainforest.
Yeah, it's weird, right? You don't think about it. Like, you're like, that's a forest?
I can see through the trees. What do you mean?
It's a fucking garden.
I can see like a kilometer away. It's not a forest.
I can see 20 feet ahead. What the hell's going on?
Weak European forests.
Well, there goes our European listeners. But here's the thing, James.
Mhm.
We cleared the bullshit on the pictures because I wanted to get that over with.
Sure.
But just because the legends are just legends and the initial photos I showed you weren't the real photos, doesn't mean strange things don't happen here. Hoia Baciu Forest is labeled the most haunted forest in the world for a reason. People report feeling ill when walking through the forest. They also report getting burns or scratches on them as they walk through or leave the forest. They also have a heightened anxiety all around them. And they also see strange lights going through the forest. Now, the reason these lights are more strange is because they'll be up in the air going through the woods or down below almost like a torchlight, but they won't come up on thermal camera or they won't be seen from the naked eye, but seen on video camera. Very strange. Another thing that people report is hearing ghostly voices and female laughter all around them, and shadowy apparitions watching them from the trees. But even though there's all these stories of ghosts, James, Hoia Baciu Forest got internationally famous in the 1960s for a different paranormal phenomena: UFOs.
Okay.
We have aliens and ghosts in this forest.
In Romania. How about that? Wouldn't have been my first guess.
This all started back in 1960 with a man named Alexandru Sift, who began studying the forest and its strange phenomena, since these stories have been around for so many years. And when he went through the forest, he documented strange physical effects like anxiety and nausea. Also, he reported abnormal magnetic fields, especially in the clearing in the center. But the most compelling part is he saw and documented strange lights in the sky. And I have several photos of those for you, James.
Several photos of lights in the sky.
Yes, sir.
What could they be? What could they be?
Here is one of the images of the lights in the sky. It is only blurry because I zoomed it in a bit. But you don't need that to see that it's strange. Feast your eyes.
It kind of looks like 3 semi-stereotypical UFOs, but they're kind of stubbier and chunkier, if that makes sense. They're almost rounder than discier, but they're still kind of vaguely disc-shaped.
They also look a little translucent.
I mean,
Like, I see the lights, but I can kind of see through them a bit.
I don't know if I agree with you on that one. There's not really anything behind them. It's a black sky.
They were reported as lights.
Yeah.
So I don't see the ship as much.
What was that? You don't see the ship as much.
Yeah. Like, I see, like there's no, like, I don't see a structure as much. I see more of, like lights.
It's like 3 individual UFOs.
Yeah, I know, but I see them as lights. Like, groupings of lights. Kind of like how, like, the Phoenix lights were reported, where there's, like, they could kind of see through it a bit.
But you can see the structure. You can see it around them.
I guess a little bit. I couldn't tell if that was just glare from the lights or if it was... Now that you got me to stand up and look at a picture that wasn't on my iPhone, I do agree with you. You can see more of the structure as it's up close.
You're welcome. It looks like 3 individual UFOs.
Yeah. Still strange.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what I was expecting. I was expecting a light in the sky.
Well, we have more pictures for you. Here is another image of a strange light that seemed to glow from the forest and rise up.
That is a very bright light beaconing into the sky way far in the distance.
That one's weird.
That is kind of weird. Spotlight or something.
But it's up in the air like that. It looks kind of strange.
Well, it could just be horizon. Like, this could be all forest along here, and it just looks like it's sky, even though it could just be a difference in elevation further back.
It could be.
It's hard to tell. Like, you can kind of see a line along there, but that doesn't say one way or another what it is or isn't.
Yeah. It is a very rural area.
Yeah.
So it'd be strange for a light like that to be in the air, but still strange.
Yes.
And I have one last image of one of the lights for you. Now, these ones look kind of like the jellyfish UFOs that we've seen in recent years.
Ooh. Could also be interpreted as like 3 individual UFOs.
Yes.
There's nothing really to describe. They have shape, but they're just kind of white.
They look kind of similar to what people have been showing in those.
It's like if you take a flash picture of your cat in the dark and all you see is the glowing eyes. It's kind of like what it is, but for the UFOs, where it's just a glowing light.
It is weird.
Yeah.
So that's what Alexandru Sift was finding.
Also, Alexandru is a wild name.
It is. It's a wild name to roll off the tongue.
A combo. I thought I misheard it at first, so I wrote down Alexander.
No, it is Alexandru. I did not just do my famous flubs.
Alexandru. Sorry, though, I interrupted to talk about Buddy's name. They are kind of grainy photos, of course. You know, it's 1960 and nighttime.
Yeah.
But they were clearer than I was expecting. I will give you that.
They're pretty clear, and they're strange.
They're strangely clear.
And the negatives, I'm pretty sure, we looked at for those photos, and nothing was affecting them. There's been nothing beforehand that affected those photos. So whatever's in the picture is in the picture. Another thing that drew Alexandru to the forest was that clearing in the center. And the thing that was weirdest about that clearing is nothing grew there. Now, Alexandru was a biologist, and he actually looked through the area and did find strange magnetic anomalies in the clearing. EMF detectors and everything were going off like crazy.
I didn't know biologists walked around with EMF detectors.
Well, that was based on what people reported in the area.
Right.
So he is a biologist,
yeah.
But people were reporting hearing things, strange sounds, UFOs, and he was curious maybe if there was a high magnetic field or something, maybe that would affect people with their anxiety or something like that. Things like that.
Right.
And even if there is a different strange magnetic anomaly in this area, it doesn't explain what it could be. Some people say maybe something crashed here and created a magnetic anomaly, but otherwise no one really knows. Another thing is he tested the soil in the clearing, and the dirt in the clearing had no difference to the dirt anywhere else in the forest. And to someone not knowing this will look at that and be like, see, nothing strange. But he's a biologist. This is strange. There's no difference in the soil. Everything should be growing the same. So he doesn't know why nothing grows in the circle, and to this day we don't know why nothing grows in the circle.
Could it be like shallow dirt, like it's just really like a big rock underneath essentially?
As far as I could tell, no. From what the testing they've done and everything around that and things that people have looked into around here, It makes no sense as to how nothing grows here. And it's not just been tested by this guy, it's been tested by several other people in the last 60 plus years, and no one knows why nothing grows here.
Has anyone tried planting anything there?
Yes. And nothing grows.
Crazy.
Yeah, people have tried planting all sorts of plants here.
Do they have dandelions in Romania? Sure, those would grow.
Blackberry bushes.
Yeah. Broom, yeah.
That's the ultimate test.
Scottish broom, the bane of Canada.
We don't have any Scottish listeners, but we have Irish listeners and UK listeners. Maybe we do have a Scottish listener. I haven't received it. If you are from Scotland.
I'm sorry about my accents in the earlier episodes.
I'm not. They're fantastic. Can you please get some broom and just plant it illegally in Romania?
Don't do that. Don't ruin Romania.
No, end it.
If they're not going to shoot you, I'll come over there and shoot you myself.
It might be a form of bioterrorism, but we need to find out. If the broom can't grow there, it's a 5 out of 5 right now.
If it had, I mean, yeah, fair enough. But also, if it hasn't gotten there, then just spare them at this point.
This is for science, James. If the broom can't grow there, 5 out of 5, this is a strange place. Because broom grows on fucking everything.
Yeah, well, our whole island is basically rock, and it's everywhere.
Yes, it's insane. Where I lived, it was like we had broom seasons, and people would pick it up. It's insane.
Yeah. Also, I looked this up the other day because I was curious.
Yeah.
The seeds are also poisonous.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was like, I was having a little sesame seed snack with my boy at work. Shout out to Josh, who gave me a sesame seed snack. I was like, I wonder if you could do something similar with broom, because they basically grow pea pods on them. And you can hear them cracking in the summertime as they're popping all open and shooting millions of seeds everywhere. No, they're poisonous.
Broom gives you nothing.
No, it's awful.
It's just
just like the Scottish.
I'm leaving that in just to spite you. Just
See, it won't do great with the Scottish, but it might do great elsewhere in Europe.
We're going to get big enough that I can get Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath wrestler, to come kick your ass.
That sounds awful.
I would love it. Anyway, we're getting off track.
I do like haggis, though.
I don't.
They probably don't either.
They don't. There's actually a truck driver that we know that works for a local business around here. He's Scottish, and they changed their dress code.
Yeah.
So guys couldn't wear shorts anymore. And they were like, what the fuck? And they were like, no, it's dress code. You can't wear shorts anymore. And the guy said, okay. And he showed up to work with a kilt. Because there's actually, it's a loophole. Is that he could get through the hilt because it was long enough that it could pass. And he's worn a kilt every day for 6 years. And I told him we did the Halo and Haggis night. And he went, you guys fucking ate that shit? He was like, I took like a bite. But everyone else had some. Yeah. And he's like, I can't believe you did that. I'm Scottish and I hate that. Everyone I know hates that.
It's just pudding.
Goat stomach pudding. Gross. Anyway. In short, yes, people have tried to plant things in the clearing and nothing has grown. But it's none of these things that made this forest famous. What made this forest famous was a sighting of a UFO in 1968. There was a man named Emil Barnea. He was a military technician, and he was in Hoia Baciu Forest. Apparently, he was having a picnic with some friends, his girlfriend and 2 other friends. Now, they were getting set up and everything, and he walked back into the woods. He was going to gather some firewood so they get a little campfire going. And as he did, his girlfriend started screaming for him, Emil, you got to come back. Look at this, look at this. And everyone's screaming and yelling, and he doesn't know what's going on. So he runs back, and he looks up in the sky, and he sees a metallic disc flying over the forest. He claimed this disc was completely silent, flying in the air, and he had a camera. Here is one of Emil Barnea's pictures of the flying saucer.
Kind of looks like a mushroom cap in the sky.
Yeah, it was taken from like the underside of the disc as it was flying over.
Yeah.
And this wasn't the only picture he took. I have another picture for you.
Show me. Let's go. It's very rare we get more than 5 photos, all of which are like quality.
Yeah.
Especially from the 60s.
This is 1968. That's a pretty good photo for 1968.
All these are suspiciously good photos.
This is as it began to fly a bit further.
It looks like it is tilted, and now we're getting kind of like a view of the top of it as it's kind of sideways.
Yeah.
Very good camera, because there's like no motion blur on these at all.
And here's the thing about Emil. He's a really smart guy. He was a military technician. So he drew the craft again, and also drew its trajectory. And I got the diagram he made for you right here.
Yeah, that's a diagram.
Yeah, he claimed that it came down on an angle and then shot off up like this, just like that drawing.
Huh. What about the people that were with him?
They all agreed. Same thing happened. Now, talking in 2026, that's not a very big deal. Guy saw a saucer, 4 people agreed with him, took a picture.
That's like the entire history of saucers.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
Back then, Romania was under like a Soviet rule, but it wasn't a part of the USSR.
Yep.
Officially. But back then, anyone who saw a UFO or claimed any sort of paranormal activity was thrown in an insane asylum without warning.
Fair.
I knew you were going to say that. Here's the thing. He said he had nothing to gain from this. They told him, don't show this to anyone. Don't bring this out anywhere. They threatened him. And he stood by his statement. And he said, no, I'm a military technician. I've never seen anything fly like this before. This was something strange. And it flew like nothing we have. And other people stood with him. He lost his job. And basically his whole future was ruined. This ruined his life.
Did you try saying, I know my rights?
That always goes well. I've seen several videos of that going very well. Several times. But no, he did not try that. Because I'm pretty sure he didn't have the rights.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there weren't any rights.
It was Romania.
You have the right to shut the fuck up, dude.
That's basically it. That's the right they got.
All right, so now he's jobless and has a couple of photos of a UFO.
That's all he has. Nothing ever came of this. You know, he has these photos. They got out. And they haven't been debunked. They checked the negatives as well on these ones. And nothing's been changed with them. And nobody knows what this could be. But I know what it could be. That's a fucking flying saucer right there, buddy.
But I mean, it's the right shape.
It is the right shape. And it's from the underside, which is pretty cool to look at.
Also, this looks like broad daylight.
Yeah, it was broad daylight, right in the middle of the day. They were having like an afternoon picnic. So.
All right, so the 60s in Romania was crazy for UFOs. What about anything closer to present day? I assume you're getting there, maybe.
We'll get there. This is a weird one. It doesn't stop here.
And sorry, this UFO that he saw, was it stopped and hovering, or did it just kind of come in and take off? I apologize, I don't recall.
It came down on an angle.
Yeah.
And then shot off.
Okay.
Off on like almost like I guess like a 45 degree.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 9-degree turn sideways. But it came down and then shot off, just like your typical UFO sighting.
Yeah.
There are other photos of strange objects in the sky. This is another flying saucer seen just outside of the forest.
Okay.
A little less convincing.
This one's a bit of a smudge on the screen for sure.
But
I can't even make out what's on the ground underneath it.
again, 1960s. Those other ones are just anomalies of how good they are for photos. But I do have an even better photo for you. The thing is that this is actually a clip from a video. And this saucer is different. Because it's not a saucer. It's a pyramid. This was in broad daylight. A strange black pyramid was floating in the sky over Hoia Baciu. This is a clip of the video that I found.
Have you seen the movie Kung Pao?
No?
Very good film. I recommend watching it. It has a flying black pyramid in that movie.
Looks similar to this?
A little higher definition, I think. Okay, well, let me describe this photo. In the very center, there is a black triangle.
Yes.
And then the rest of the photo is gray.
It's the sky.
There's
black and white.
There's nothing for reference. It is literally just a triangle in allegedly the sky.
In the video, it is more clear that it is the sky. I had a hard time trying to find the videos and pictures because lots of the websites and stuff are Romanian. And a lot of this stuff was happening during a USSR influence over the area.
Do you have the video? What was wrong with the video?
I had to clip it from YouTube, is basically all it was.
Right. Does the video like show anything more or less, or is it just...
No, it's just a perfectly still triangle in the sky. It's not very... I showed you the picture. It's the same thing, except imagine more like light flicker, because the camera's weird.
Right.
It's old.
Right.
That's the only difference. Otherwise, that's it. A perfectly still triangle in the sky that no one knows what it is.
Neat. You know, I've been seeing lots of stuff lately about flying black triangles as projects made by Boeing and some other company. Wonder if that's early go at it.
Although it is in Romania.
Yeah.
Dangerously close to the USSR if you're going to crash it.
Don't crash it.
Never thought about that. Thanks. Shut up.
I think the number one rule of flying is don't fucking crash it. I could be wrong. I've never had pilot training.
Okay. Maybe this is Boeing testing a triangle flying in the sky in the 60s. I highly doubt it. It was very still. But still another strange anomaly that was found over the forest.
Gravity warp drive, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that we could...
Yeah, I can make words. Put them together. Put drive after it.
That's all you need.
It's an electron plasma drive.
The UFO thing is a constant thing happening in Hoia Baciu. And some people say that the clearing is a clearing because thousands of years ago, a UFO crashed in Hoia Baciu. There may not be evidence towards that, but Hoia Baciu is near one of the first permanent settlements that humanity had made. One of the oldest. There's a settlement that goes back almost 10,000 years in Hoia Baciu. One of the oldest settlements that wasn't a nomadic settlement that would move from place to place. This was like the first rooted settlement, and I think it went back to 8,500 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was found right near Hoia Baciu. And some people, out there people, say that the saucer crash advanced these people enough that they made a settlement. I don't agree with that. I just think it's cool that this place is an old place and contains a lot of history. And this forest has been used probably for rituals for thousands of years since then. These legends go back a long time in Romania.
Could be. I mean, I don't know if you know, but have there been any artifacts or anything found around the clearing? I mean, obviously they haven't excavated it.
No, they have not.
Because why would they? It's a clearing in a forest.
Yeah, and I think there might be laws against it.
Probably. Like, hey, can I go dig up this clearing in the forest? Why? No. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's probably what they said verbatim.
I mean, I would have it translated, but probably pretty close.
Probably pretty close. I don't know of any artifacts found near the forest, or in the forest, but near the forest is where the remnants of this settlement was found.
Yeah. Well, something that's brought up regularly with UFOs is like radiation.
Yes.
Looks like plenty of people have been poking around with different instruments. Has anyone found radiation in the area?
Yes. And especially in the clearing.
How about that?
Yeah, no, they have. And actually, I think it was in Alexander Siff's tests. One of the tests was he found trace amounts of radiation in the soil.
How about that?
And with other tests, this has been confirmed. There have been trace amounts of radiation. Some say possibly there was a radiation spill because, there's lots of like testing.
I mean, they are pretty close to Ukraine, and they did have that one incident that one time.
Exactly. This was before that incident.
Oh yeah, fair enough, I suppose. True enough.
But it doesn't mean there weren't other radioactive tests going on. They were doing all sorts of stuff in Eastern Europe at the time. But it is strange that they found radiation in the soil. The thing is that we're talking about this radiation, we're talking about the electromagnetic fields, and we're talking about UFOs. And all of that is really cool and really interesting, and some of the evidence for it is pretty good for this. But Hoia Baciu, even though it got famous from saucers, it's known for its ghosts.
Here we go.
Here's the thing, James.
Yeah.
Remember how you always said, every time you show me a ghost, where's the recording of people talking? Where's things being thrown?
I don't think I've ever said that verbatim.
This is not verbatim. But basically, when you bring things up, the arguments are, why can't I see things being thrown? Why can't I hear things being talked?
Okay, let's look at the evidence you have given me so far.
Yes.
There's been a ball placed on the edge of a case that fell off the case.
Yes.
And there's been a stroller placed at the very top of the stairs that fell down the stairs.
Okay, you're naming two things when I showed you several voice recordings and several photos, especially on the Queen Mary. Yes, the videos may have been lackluster, but I've got a lot of strange things that are found in this forest, James. We have recordings,
Yeah.
pictures,
Okay.
and videos of strange things happening in the forest. And I got them all here for you today.
Do you think the aliens are related to the ghosts?
I don't know. Because there's a lot of theories about the clearing.
Yeah.
Some say it was a UFO crash. More spiritual people say it's a vortex to hell.
Seems to be a fairly common theme when it comes to ghosts and stuff. Hauntings.
Yes.
Lots of openings and stuff.
And I would agree that this place is a strange place.
Yep.
And reportedly, people have found FLIR images, like, thermal images, where the ground in the clearing's hotter than everything else. But I've only heard that. And I'm not going to say that that's a thing or show you any evidence. People just say.
Well, I mean, the ground that has a clear line of sight to the sun is going to be warmer.
It's going to be warmer.
Yeah.
There's explanations around it. So I can see why people take that and be like, it's a gate to hell.
That's just Eastern Europe.
Yeah. God damn it. Drinking and no sleep was a bad choice.
I'll piss everyone off. I don't care. Who's next?
Write that on the bottle where it's at. I'll piss everyone off.
Do you want some Bosnia and Herzegovina?
Just right on the bottle. I'll hurt everyone. I don't care. Right on the level where the beer's at.
Yeah, pretty close to the empty.
All right, James. When it comes to ghosts, we all know you're a tad skeptical on the subject.
Maybe a wee bit.
What?
Oh, here we go. What will it take to convince me?
No.
Oh.
From these three things I'm going to give you, what would be the least convincing? Pictures, audio, or video?
The least convincing of ghosts in this forest?
Mhm.
What would be the... Okay. Pictures, audio, or video? It's hard. They're so also unbelievable. Maybe pictures?
Alrighty. Well, I got a picture here for you.
Okay.
Lots of people go through the woods with flash photography and try to pick up some of these shadowy apparitions that
With
they see.
flash photography?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at night. Lots of people say, I saw an orb. Orb is always dust. I will not believe any orb photo ever. Have you ever heard of orbs when it comes to ghosts?
No.
Okay, so back when photography became a new thing,
Yep.
lots of people would take pictures and see these circles in the photo. And people would claim that those were little souls floating around and you could catch them with flash photography.
Is it just like burn marks?
No, it's dust particles. But the flash enhances them.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of people be like, look at this orb. I have never seen an orb picture that's convinced me of anything. They're always dust particles. However, I have a photo here that looks like an apparition forming that they found. I think this was taken near the clearing. I don't know who took it. It's hard to find sources when you're looking in some place in Romania, but it's fairly obvious when you look at it. Feast your eyes.
Looks like a big old spider web.
It does look like a big old spider web, but it looks oddly humanoid, and it was not there when they took the photo.
I mean, we don't know that. If they could have thought, damn, that spider web looks oddly humanoid. Let's tell people it's
big
ghosts.
spider web.
Big spider webs exist.
That looks oddly huge. That looks like it was made by a giant spider.
Could be plenty of small spiders. I don't know. I don't know what the spider situation in Romania is like.
We have Google.
We also don't know that's Romania before you Google too much. Plausible deniability.
Of this photo? Of where it was taken?
Sure.
No, this was taken in the Hoia Baciu Forest. We know that much.
They have 583 unique species of spiders.
I wasn't expecting that from Romania.
Well, there's 50,000 species worldwide, allegedly. It's a very round number, but I'll believe it.
Probably a rough estimation, but yeah.
Ooh, they have tarantulas. This is the largest spider in Romania.
They have tarantulas in Romania?
The Lycosa singoriensis, commonly known as the Romanian tarantula, is actually a wolf spider.
It's a wolf spider?
25 to 35 millimeters big.
Okay, so it's a wolf spider. It's our typical garage spider.
The largest one is tiny.
Yeah.
And then there's almost 600 smaller ones.
Yeah, no.
I don't know what that's to do with spider webs, but they got...
Okay, they have spiders there, but to me that doesn't quite look like a spider web. We'll leave it inconclusive.
Okay.
People also report these strange mists that develop in their photographs that weren't in the photos when they took the photo. So here's a picture of the said mist that's been found.
I think mist can be explained.
Maybe.
We had a fog warning today.
Yeah, but the mist wasn't there. It was in the photo, but it wasn't foggy.
Well, it could have been a light mist, and maybe it wasn't visible until the flash came out. I don't know.
Possibly.
And especially if there's like an exposure time on there.
Yeah.
It'd be easier for it to be picked up.
These are all true, James. And honestly, I have one more photo to show you. I'm not even going to show it to you because I am 90% sure that it's not actually in the Hoia Baciu Forest. Lots of people said it was. Lots of sources say it is. And I'm still looking at it. I was skeptical when I got it. And I'm skeptical now. I'm not even going to waste my time with it for you.
Just show me anyways.
Okay, fine.
Why not at this point? You showed me mist in a forest. All right, next.
These are alleged eyes seen in the Hoia Baciu Forest.
You can't even convince me that that's a forest.
It looks like a road, and then there's long, big
Those
trees.
look like stairs.
Yeah, that's not Hoia Baciu. It's not Hoia Baciu. Like, that's what I mean, though, is that a lot of people will, like, I've seen a lot of shows on the Hoia Baciu Forest.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of people do different things on it, and then they use photos like this that they can't even source back to the Hoia Baciu Forest. The other two photos, those were in the Hoia Baciu Forest. But the picture I showed you at the beginning wasn't even the Hoia Baciu Forest. It was in Poland. Like, and then people use that all the time. So yeah, no, I can't even show you those photos because there's a lot of photos on there. And they're like, look at this strange thing in the Hoia Baciu Forest. And I'll be like, that's not even the same forest because the Hoia Baciu Forest has a very particular look, as I showed you before. Anytime you see a big, thick pine in the background, it's probably not Hoia Baciu.
Probably not.
Yeah. So think of that, everybody, when you're looking for Hoia Baciu pictures. If you see a forest that does not look like the Hoia Baciu Forest, it's probably not the Hoia Baciu Forest.
Also, if you can spell Hoia Baciu correctly the first time around, big shout out to you.
Yes, 100%. The last bit of evidence I have for you, James, is mostly video content. There was a television show when I was a kid called Destination Truth, hosted by archaeologist Josh Gates. It's a really good show. I used to watch it all the time. My dad hated it. One of my core memories is my dad coming home late from work, and he walked upstairs as they were in Iceland looking for leprechauns, and the guy, Josh, went, "Do you think your cameraman malfunctioning could possibly be due to a leprechaun?" And the cameraman looked at him with like a stunned face and went, I guess it's a possibility. And then my dad went, "This is bullshit," and left the room. But here's the thing is, Josh Gates is a respected researcher. His shows, if they find nothing, they find nothing. If they find something, they find something. And when they were in Hoia Baciu, they found a lot.
Any leprechauns?
No leprechauns.
Are those limited to Ireland?
No, I think they were in Iceland when they were looking for leprechauns or something.
I think you did say that.
That might have been a gnome episode. I don't know. They did a leprechaun episode too, but I don't know. Anyway, that's not important. What is important is that they went to the Hoia Baciu Forest, and they got a lot of good evidence when they went there. I got some clips for you, James. So this clip, Josh is doing an EVP session in the clearing.
What is that?
Electronic voice phenomena. Essentially, you have a recorder, you ask questions, and most of the time you can get something back when you look at it again. There's things that appear on the recording that didn't appear to your ear.
Do the Romanian ghosts speak English?
No. That's the good part, is lots of this isn't really English speaking. This isn't necessarily the part that's interesting about this. The interesting part is we get to see some of the lights.
Whatever's on my right feels like it's out in the woods somewhere, and I keep sort of thinking I hear something
On the periphery of the tree line behind me.
What is that?
What the is that? Dude,
It's a person.
what's on your left? What's on your left shoulder?
Don't say that. Don't say that. What? Nothing's on my left shoulder. What are you talking about?
I see a light. I see somebody walking. Turn with the thermometer towards it. It's kind of basically yeah, exactly.
Thermal's not picking anything up over there.
Was it a person or was it a light? What did you see?
Light, and now it's gone.
So as you can see, there was lights that kind of appeared above his head, and when he turned to look, he couldn't see them, but the camera could see them.
Three dots
Yeah.
essentially were kind of vaguely above him, a distance unknown.
But the thing is that this was at about 3 a.m.
Was this on television?
This was on television. Thing is, Josh Gates is seen as more trusted researcher. There are guys like Zach Baggins who fluffs his show. There's a guy in England, I think he's the guy who hosts Ghost Adventures.
Bear
and-
Grylls?
No, he's a liar too. He is.
Damn.
Like, we don't got.
He
don't,
didn't actually drink his own piss?
I can show you stuff.
No.
Guys go to like the same locations where he's like, look at this clip, and he like does like a leap, and then they just pan the camera a little bit to the left, and it's just like a connects right there. He's just an idiot. Anyway, so Josh Gates is seen as more of a respected researcher. He's an archaeologist. He goes around the world. He's looked for like ancient civilizations. He's actually pretty well respected. He's not really seen as the typical ghost guy who plays it up for the camera. And as I told you before, if they find nothing in the show, they find nothing, which is why I always liked it, because it was never guaranteed they were going to find something. And most of the show was dedicated to the history and like the area. And Josh Gates is very charismatic and very entertaining, so he like makes it really kind of funny until like the last 10 minutes, and then it's the investigation.
Yeah. Now, I'm just for the sake of being a shitty person, I'm going to kind of combat against that a little bit.
Okay.
This was a television show.
Yes, it was.
If you didn't find anything on every single episode, then you wouldn't have much of a show.
Yes.
There is a possibility of a little producer movie magic going on there. It's not like it was a super in-depth like CGI thing. There was 3 tiny little lights kind of above his head for 2.5 seconds.
Okay, well, here's the thing, is that I'm not going to show you the whole clip, but throughout the night, they see these lights through the woods, and they go to try to find them, and they're not like ground level, they're like up
Yeah.
in the sky, like UFO type thing. So they try to find them, and they just go out as soon as they go to find them. But this isn't the most captivating clip. It's just more of these lights taunting them, and this is what other people report, not just them.
Right.
This isn't the most compelling shit. The most compelling thing happened the same night with a cameraman named Evan. Now, these guys on the show are not all paranormal guys. Some of them are into it and they're joining Josh for the investigation. Some of them are just doing their job as cameramen and sound guys. Evan's one of those guys. But sometimes they'll jump in and do an EVP session just for fun. According to Josh, Evan is not a paranormal guy. He does not believe in any of it. This is his job. And he thought it was cool to travel the world. However, Evan has an experience that still to this day traumatizes him, and he doesn't like to talk about it. And he doesn't know what it happened to him, and still can't explain it to this day. Remember how you said there's never videos of ghosts actually manipulating something? Not verbatim, but stuff similar to that.
Probably. I mean, no, but probably.
All right.
I know there's lots of coincidental video. Oh, we placed the ball on the edge of the flat case and it rolled off.
Yes, okay. Well, watch this, James.
Okay, watching.
This may sound really weird, but I'm hearing some
scratching, like from different parts of the forest.
Whoa, he's gone. Get out there, come on, go, get a camera. Evan? Oh, here he is.
Can you sit up? Let's all give him a second.
I don't know, I just feel like itchy.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
what is that?
Scratched.
Those were not there before. Those scratches are new.
These are like these linear. They look like claw marks, Evan.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just feels like itchy.
How did you get from there to here?
It felt like just like wind just blew at me. It kind of came down and then shot at me.
You know, you've done your bit for king and country here in the circle.
I don't get the out of here, man.
Do they have raccoons in Romania?
A man got fucking thrown, James. A man got thrown. A man got thrown and scratched. And other people have reported this for hundreds of years. And we got it on video.
I didn't see him get thrown.
Do you not see him move back?
Can you watch that part again?
Yes. Do you see the motion? He got thrown.
This is the type of thing you see, and everyone in the room rolls their eyes.
He got fucking thrown.
That was the fakest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It wasn't fake. He got thrown.
Why did they cut it 4 times in 4 seconds?
Because it's a fucking show. That
was the fakest I've ever heard in my life.
He still got thrown. He claims he still got thrown. Josh claimed he got thrown. He had claw marks to prove it, and he's not a paranormal dude. These camera guys have
I'm not
other
buying
shows.
it.
These
I'm
camera
not
guys,
buying it.
These camera guys have other shows that they go on. It's not just these shows.
Because that's their job.
Yes, he got thrown.
He's not an actor, and that's very obvious.
He got thrown.
He wasn't freaking out at all for someone who got thrown in the middle of a forest in Romania by a spirit.
He got thrown, and it was on camera. This was gonna happen if I show you shit.
You know this too.
I'm just saying.
Don't act surprised.
I'm not surprised. I'm just saying. I just showed you a guy get thrown.
Clips from network television aren't going to save you here.
For fuck's sake, James, I fucking showed you a guy get thrown. I don't know what else I gotta show you.
Okay, so there was a frame of him sitting still. There was a frame of a blur. It cuts to him doing the fakest with the close up on his face I've ever seen in my life.
How can you judge that it was
And then
fake?
everyone rushes over and he's like, "Oh, give him a sec. Those scratches weren't there before."
Josh claimed after this that the scratches could have been from the fall. Like maybe he hit a twig or something. Like he's trying to explain it.
Yeah.
He actually tries to give explanations on why things
Maybe there was like a spontaneous muscle spasm in his legs and he launched himself backwards.
I don't think so. Here's the thing: is that this was
Either way, you don't see him fly through the air. You see one frame of him sitting down, and then literally one frame of a blur on the screen, and then it cuts 3 times.
What did you expect them to do? They have
What do
several
you expect
cameras.
me to say?
There's a guy getting thrown in a video. That's the difference. That's the whole thing. There's a guy getting thrown on video in a haunted forest in a haunted clearing. That's a vortex. I'm gonna take you to a fucking haunted place one of these days. You're gonna get fucked up.
I want you to.
I will. In my opinion,
Yeah.
a guy got thrown.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
In a haunted forest, it's going to be the most haunted forest in the world.
Bold claim.
A bold claim indeed. And there's weird things about this forest, as science has also shown.
Can't argue with science.
There's radioactive soil. There's a strange electromagnetic field. There's strange anomalies in these woods.
Now here's the real question. What makes an electromagnetic field strange as opposed to a normal electromagnetic field?
So if they use an EMF detector,
Yep.
you can see what the area is like for what it would be like. So they can see out on levels. If it starts shooting up to 10, it's considered like an anomaly. It's not right. But they'll look for things that could cause it. This is a common thing in ghost investigations. People go to a house, they say, "Oh, EMF detector's going off," which is a sign of possible spirits. But when they do that, real ghost investigators will try to go through the house and see what could be doing that. And they'll try to debunk it. There's nothing in these woods that could cause that. And scientists have said that this is a strange area with magnetic anomalies similar to that of Bermuda Triangle and other strange places around the world. where these strange things seem to happen. And remember we talked about the parallel across the United States? I forget the exact number, but remember that thing we talked about with the Flatwoods Monster where there's that strip across America where magnetic anomalies seem to occur more?
Yep, I recall.
In all of those magnetic anomalies is where more strange things happen. This is a place where the magnetic anomalies where strange things happen. UFOs, strange things pushing people, not just here, and other times too. This has been reported for a long time. Strange voices, scratches, burns. People get physically affected here. And magnetic anomalies aren't all to blame for physical effects like that. Possibly like anxiety or nausea, definitely. Yep. But for like burns and scratches, that doesn't happen from magnetic anomalies.
No, not generally.
Not generally.
Or probably ever.
Yes. So, it's strange.
I'll tell you right now, if I or somebody I was with got thrown in the air via spirit or ghost, I would be freaking the fuck out, and you could not calm me down. I would be sprinting through that forest. I would be screaming. Like, I wouldn't be like, give him a minute. Give him a minute.
Here's the thing. They ended the investigation after this. And their medic, Rex, also started throwing up after this. Getting affected maybe by the spirits, maybe by medic.
Maybe by the food.
Who knows? But people do get sick in the forest. Here's the thing. They ended it after this. That was too much for people. They didn't want to stay. Like, the crew told him, we're not staying. The camera guys told him, we're not staying. And that was it. They ended it. They left. They didn't stay and investigate any longer. So the guys were freaked out. Evan, the cameraman to this day, is still freaked out by this. It affected them. You know?
Yeah.
So say what you want about Necro Television. They will make it, like with the music and stuff, they'll make it, you know, a TV show. But some of these guys are actual investigators. And those guys were actually freaked out and stopped the investigation after this. And there's a lot of other shows like Ghost Adventurers where guys will literally get possessed in front of people and then start saying they're King Arthur and screaming and yelling and going violent. And they'll be going, that's weird. Let's go to the kitchen. You know, like they just keep investigating. That's a fake show. These guys stopped. And they also got their dirt tested. And they did find traces of radioactive, like, traces in it. And again, other than that, nothing different than the other soil in the forest. So it also lined up with the rest of the tests that have happened several times throughout the woods. And I understand that you're going to say no to it no matter what. But Josh did take his findings back to the Atlantic Paranormal Society, also known as TAPS. They are ghost investigators. They had their own show as well. They were like the more honest version of Ghost Adventurers. Their show was more based on, you have a problem, show us around, we'll investigate. And their show would literally sometimes turn up absolutely nothing. And they would just show them the next day, like, we found nothing here. It's not haunted. You're okay. And then they'll go somewhere else. It was great. Here's them looking at Josh's evidence that he had collected.
EVP sessions had yielded some unnerving results once we isolated the audio.
This is an EVP session. Is there anybody here?
Sounds like somebody's yelling.
Yeah.
Sounds female, though, to me. I'll give you that. There it is again. Woods, a strange giggle of a girl.
Is anybody here with me in this circle?
Sounds like a giggle to me. You might have good evidence here, but the problem is it's not a controlled environment. You're outside.
You got animals and other things like that. It's just, you can't rule anything out, so therefore you can't really prove anything.
So to give you an example of what TAPS is more like, they will give you the debunking and stuff like that. Like they said, it's not a controlled environment.
Yeah, you can't rule anything out, so you can't prove anything.
But they are interesting recordings. And people do report strange female laughter or moaning in the forest. So that does correlate with what people have reported. So this is an image taken by one of the track cameras that has set up throughout the forest.
Okay.
This is one of the strange lights they found in the woods. What do you think of that?
Kind of looks like a reflection or a light or something. Just a spot in the woods near the ground.
Possibly. To me, it kind of looks like a torch.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing connected to it. That's the issue.
Purely on speculation and making things up to what it could be. Like, they are right on the edge of the forest. It could be like a flashlight taped to the backside of a tree pointed at the rock there.
But these were track cams that were set off by motion.
Right. But the track cameras just take photos?
Just take photos.
I mean, it doesn't really look like anything. It's just a light in a spot.
That's the thing.
At the edge of the woods.
That's what people report, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So you can get a picture of a light, but people report lights or disembodied lights. So a picture will just show a light.
Yeah.
So they showed Grant Wilson and Jason Hawes these photos they found in the forest.
Grant Wilson looks like an alcoholic. Got that out.
Well, actually, a little fact about Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson.
Yeah.
Well respected in the paranormal community. Grant Wilson left the show eventually because he was sleep deprived. The issue was these guys are full-time plumbers.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they call themselves TAPS. It also stands for the Atlantic Paranormal Society. But they, at night, they'd be ghost hunters. So someone called them up, be like, you had a plumbing situation, that's fine, yeah, great. But sometimes people call them up, be like, my house is haunted. Be like, okay. And then they'll go out at night and have an investigation.
Yeah.
So eventually Grant was getting real sick and he left the show.
Right.
I believe Jason still does it to this day. But
well, I take back my previous comment on how he looked.
He did leave because he was tired. But here's the thing, though, is that these guys, as you saw, they're no joke. These are the guys I talk about where like real paranormal investigators will look for the debunking first, and if there is something they can't explain, then that could be considered paranormal. And as they said before, they said that those lights were consistent with what people reported. But again, pictures are pictures, as I've said to you, and as Jason said as well.
Yep.
But they thought the recordings were interesting, at least. But again, uncontrolled environment, that's the tough part.
Yeah.
But still interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff in these woods. A lot of unexplainable things in these woods. The amount of UFOs seen, the strange soil. One thing I do want to touch on as well that I forgot to was they call it the Bermuda Triangle of Romania. I found no missing people there. I found people go missing, but it's more like the Japanese forest sort of situation.
Right.
Where they go missing and they're found dead, usually by suicide in the woods. It attracts energy like that. But I haven't found anything where people just magically disappear. So.
Right. So alien sightings, ghost sightings, but no real disappearances or much.
As far as I could find. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not an encyclopedia.
No.
I'm just curious and I research and I try to sift out bullshit. I make mistakes. But from what I could find, there was no real recorded disappearances. But also, this place was, for a long time, under Soviet control. And Soviets tend to erase a lot of their records and don't keep track of things. I think I could be wrong about this, but what I've learned before is I'm pretty sure the guy who invented the AK-47 isn't named. Because in this communist country in Russia, they said, we invented the AK-47, and they left it at that. So the true guy who did it didn't get credit.
Right.
So the same thing with other like records like that. They're very vague or not put down at all. So it'd be tough if there wasn't any disappearances. And as I said before, in Soviet Russia at the time, anything paranormal was deemed insanity right off the bat, and you were sent to an asylum. Strange disappearances could be just chalked up to people leaving.
Could be.
Running away.
I mean, like you said, though, Romania was not part of the Soviet Union, but they were fairly close.
They were under Soviet control, but they weren't officially
Puppet
a part
state.
of the Soviet Union. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like Belarus, allegedly.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's like it's like one of those states that are close that they never officially joined the Union, but
yeah,
the control was there. And the influence was there. So it's hard to find records about this. And that's why this didn't become famous and internationally until 1968, even though stories go back hundreds of years. But with that, James, that's all the evidence I have to bring to you today. There could be more out there. However, there is a lot of bullshit photos, as I've shown you, and a lot of people who just take whatever they find and then put it out there.
Yeah.
Hoia Baciu is a very mysterious place.
Sounds like it.
And I highly suggest watching this episode of Destination Truth on it. It's actually very interesting, the area around Hoia Baciu and the history about the whole place and everything. One thing I will say, people do use Hoia Baciu in some areas as a rec space. People use it for archery, paintball, outdoor rec activities during the summertime.
Wear bright colors.
Wear bright colors. So, people do use this forest. However, strange things still get reported.
Have there been any more UFO sightings since 1968?
I believe there have been. Mostly lights in the sky, like I showed you before. Or like the lights, like just strange balls of light.
Yeah.
Not many like UFO. As far as I know, this is the most famous UFO sighting. But again, as I said, people didn't really want to come forward with this stuff. And even though the Soviet influence on Romania ended in 1989, lots of people were raised with that, or were born by people who were raised with that and maybe shed those same values. And it takes
already products of their environment.
Yes, and it'd probably take a long time for them to realize that they'd come out with these sort of things.
Yeah.
Like, look in America, like, people didn't start truly coming out about UFOs until, like, the last 10 years. Before that, you were a whack job. If I was around in 1985, I'd be put in an asylum. I know that.
I'd put you there myself.
I know you would. But unluckily for everyone else, I was born in 1996, and now I can go on the internet and tell people it's real.
Or die trying.
But anyway, do you have any questions or anything about the Hoia Baciu Forest other than that?
It's a shame there wasn't like at least one abduction or something.
As far as I could tell.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything. Every time I looked up abductions, it brought me back to the girl who went to the woods and came out 5 years later, or this guy who lost himself and 200 sheep. But no names, no dates.
Yeah.
We have names of people doing stuff back in the 1400s. Also, though, Romania. Who knows? This forest also was part of Transylvania, and that's why it's called
Dracula Forest.
Dracula's Forest. But yeah, a lot of creepy stuff here. But yeah, that's all I could find is those just creepy stuff and UFOs and strange lights in the sky.
This might be like a double rating episode.
A double rating?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how you phrase it.
We can try to narrow it down.
We'll see how you phrase it.
Let's go to conclusions. So today, James, on the case of the Hoia Baciu Forest, we have several reports of strange lights in the sky and UFOs, reports of strange ghostly activity, including being pushed, scratched, burned, strange female whispers and laughter. The soil in this strange clearing where nothing grows is the same as the soil on the outside. It's also a strange place for magnetic anomalies and bits of radiation in the soil. We have videos of lights, of a man being pushed. I don't care what you say. We have evidence of all sorts of different paranormal phenomena in this forest. So let's rank the system like this today, since there's so many different things going on in this place. 1, as always, I'm an idiot. 2, you're skeptical. 3, you're on the fence. 4, there's something strange here. 5, the Hoia Baciu Forest is a paranormal place. What do you come down to today?
Well, first, I would like to say, I take back what I said previously, that the photos would be the least convincing type of evidence for ghosts. And I would change that to reality television. Reality television is the least convincing ghost evidence for me. I might still split this up into 2. Just because
you don't want to give ghosts any higher than
I don't want to Yeah. I don't want to combine these things together. Ghosts and aliens, they don't deserve to live on the same place on the podium.
But it's all happening. It's about the forest. The forest is a strange place.
Okay, fair enough.
Here's another example. If we did Skinwalker Ranch, which has ghosts, cryptids, aliens, UFOs, all of that,
right?
We wouldn't split that into every single one.
Fair enough.
That's why I said paranormal.
Yep.
Keeping it broad for you.
I think today, on the case of the Hoia Baciu Forest in Romania, near Cluj, I hate that you stare at me while waiting for my answer. It's like, oh god, I'm about to shoot this guy's dog.
That's not a good sign.
Today, I think I come down to a 2.8. 3? 3. 2.8. 2.85. Final answer.
Can you justify a 2.85?
Yeah, I can. I think that the UFO stuff was kind of interesting. The photos, they were weirdly good photos for 1960 and 1968, especially the one at night in 1960. I think they're interesting, but they are just photos. And then the ghost stuff, I don't really buy at all, unfortunately.
What about the magnetic anomalies?
The magnetic anomalies I find interesting, for sure. That's helping the case a bit.
And the radiation bits in the...
Well, traces of radiation. They're right next to Ukraine. Well, sorry, you said the Chernobyl happened after, though, right?
Chernobyl happened 26 years after the traces were found.
Right. Well, that is interesting.
And also, another thing interesting, other than that, actually, not even other than that, the soil's completely the same from the clearing and the forest.
Yeah.
So there's no other reason why nothing grows in that clearing.
I'm trying to convince myself to bring the score up, but I don't know if I can.
Just because of ghosts.
The ghost did not help the case, I'll tell you that.
It's a big part of it. It's a haunted forest that also has aliens and strange magnetic anomalies. It's a combination of things. And strange trees.
You know what? 3, final answer. Final answer.
All right.
Hesitant 3?
I understand. Hey, 3 doesn't say yes. It's on the fence.
No, there's potentially something strange going on here. There's lots of different angles for sure.
Yeah, there is.
I kind of wish those trees at the beginning were like the actual trees.
It is a real place.
Yeah, I hope to learn more about that someday.
Cricket Forest in Poland. Go look it up.
But that's neither here nor there. That's not real. I mean, I think I've stumbled through enough words here. I don't buy the ghost stuff at all. I think the reality show didn't help the case much, unfortunately. I think the little anomalies are neat. I think the photos are cool, but it's hard to say whether they're real or not, like any other photo of a UFO ever.
The negatives weren't adjusted or nothing.
They're really good photos.
And he did ruin his life by showing them.
Yeah.
He stood on his morals.
Yeah.
And he had 3 other corroborating witnesses.
Yeah. So that's
right.
kind of where if you even understood any words that I mumbled, I come down to today.
We'll take a 3. There's strangeness here. There's something strange. To me, I say Hoia Baciu, I'm coming down to a 4.5.
4.5.
4.5 for Hoia Baciu.
Damn.
Yeah. There's strange anomalies here. The magnetic anomalies are paranormal. They don't make sense. No one can really explain them. Same with the traces of radiation and why things don't grow in that clearing. So that is, by definition, paranormal. And the ghost stuff, I believe in ghosts. I'm different than you on that part.
Yeah.
I think there's legitimacy to the claims, and they go back for a long time.
Yeah. You also have no one to blame but yourself when you're disappointed when I give a rating involving ghosts.
I know that.
You have no one to blame but yourself.
I haven't given you a ghost one in a long time. In a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I try to at least every 10 episodes do one ghost one.
That's fair, and keep trying for sure.
I'm gonna keep trying.
Don't expect much.
I never do. You can I don't go into...
You can show me as much evidence in the world, and I'm going to have a hard time being like, yeah, okay.
I go into ghost episodes with you with a combination of determined and hopeless. I just dive into it and hope that I can get something.
It's just the fucking face you're giving me every time I try to give an answer here.
It's my face, and I'm awaiting the answer. It's not my fault that I got big, beautiful eyes.
It is your fault.
Okay.
It's your mom's fault, I guess.
Probably. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a 4.5. I think there's something strange here. Almost 5 for me. I understand ghosts are hard for you, but one day I will take you to a haunted location and you will experience something.
I hope so.
Because I was curious about ghosts my whole life, and then when I experienced one, that's when I knew they were real. But with that, thank you for listening, everybody. I could not get James over the fence this week, but I got him right to it on a case that involves ghosts, even though that may have brought the score down. Doesn't matter. Still got him to the fence. You can follow us on all of our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, for case photos and updates. The link is in the description of every episode. If you enjoy what we're doing here, please rate and follow on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, or wherever you listen to the podcast. It really goes a long way. And also, share with your friends. Word of mouth is the best advertisement, and it's free. Also, if you have any case ideas, or if I've missed something and you want to send me some more things that I could bring to James, or if you're doing your own investigations and have evidence, I would love to see it all. You can email us at darkdosandpod@gmail.com. With that, James, any words to the wise?
If you ever see your grandma posting cool photos of trees on Facebook, make sure you fact check her because they could be from somewhere else.
Wise words from a wiser man. We'll see you on the next one, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.